Today we're learning Daf Chovtes. So, to understand Daf Chovtes, we have to go back to the Mishnah on Kof Ches Amud Aleph to see the Mishnah over there. So the Mishnah says over there at the bottom of Kof Ches Amud Aleph, Nishbar Ekadi B'Rishus Rabim, someone's barrel, or small barrel, fell in Rishus Rabim and it broke. V'uchlok echad b'mayim, and someone slipped from the water. Or he got hit from the clay of the barrel, or chayev, so he's chayev to pay. He's like a bar and he's chayev to pay, and we should notice there's two parts in the Mishnah, two cases. One is uchlak echad b'mayim, slipping, someone slept in the water, and the second one is they got hit from the broken pieces. Chayev. Rabbi Yehuda comes and he's cholik and he says b'miskaven, if he means, and we don't know what it means if he means. If he has kavona, he's chayev. Be'ino miskaven, if he doesn't have kavona, he's potter. And we're going to see in the Gemara, we're going to discuss what's pshat in Rabbi Yehuda. Now, to understand the sugya, it's good to understand there's 2 points are important to realize. A bar is chayev Rishus Rabim. Someone digs a hole, a bar in Rishus Rabim, he's chayev to pay. Now, that's a shaila. A bar is chayev. The question is, where did the Torah talk? What type of bar did the Torah talk? Did it talk in a bar in Rishus Rabim, where there belongs a public space, and in such a place you're chayev when you dig a bar? Or no? The bar that the Torah talks about is at the edge of your field, at the edge of your property, you dug a bar, and over there someone fell in. So does the bar belong to you when the Torah talked about bar, or a hefkadik bar in Rishus Rabim? That's one point to understand. And another point that's good to know is that when someone trips and he falls, is that called a pushia? Did he do something wrong, or is that normal thing to happen? Okay, so now we're going to start the Gemara. Let's start Kof Ches on the base towards the bottom. That's where the sugya starts. Rabbi Yehuda b'miskaven chayev. Eichidomi miskaven. What does miskaven mean? Omar Rabba b'miskaven lo'irido lemato miktoifoi. He had a tension. Miskaven means he having a tension to take this barrel underneath off from his shoulder. He was planning to move it. That means so he should be careful now. It's a dodgy time, and he didn't do it good. That's why Rabbi Yehuda said b'miskaven. If he was meaning to take off the barrel and that's when it happened, and he was mazik, so yichayev. But she'ena miskaven, when you're just walking and it happened, so then you're potter. So let's say echido miskaven, or marab miskaven l'ridu lemato mikteifoi. That's when you're chayev, and you're potter when you're just walking. Omar le Abaye, says Abaye to Rabba, Michlal Mermea Filu Nifsharo. We have a machloikis. The Mishnah says the Reisha, it doesn't say Ramea, but that's a Tanakama, that's Ramea. Then it's a Rabbi Yehuda, meaning Ramea is choilek on this. So what will he hold? Even if Nifsharo means it melted, he was holding the handle of this bottle, of this barrel, and he did nothing wrong, and it just broke. So he was not poishe at all, and he's still chayev. Omalein, he said yes. Mechayev oyromeh afilu ozno biyodoi. Even if the only thing that's left in his hand is the handle of this keli, of this vessel, and he did nothing wrong, Romeh holds yechayev. Frek the Gemara, my onusu, he's a oines, he did nothing wrong. Why should it be chayev? He did nothing wrong. V'oines rachmona patre, and we know the oines is potter. The chsiv, it says in the pasuk, v'lenaro lo tase dovo. It's talking about when a woman did a avera and she did it by force. So the Torah said that she doesn't get misa for that. That she's potter from the oinish. Because she was oines, she did it by force. So you can't say she did anything wrong. Maybe you don't kill once when you do aver boinus. You don't kill the person. But if you did nizokim boinus, chayev. Maybe then you are chayev, and therefore a mea is mechayev me to pay, even if I was a oinus and only have the handle of the thing of the keli in my hand. Vatanya can't be. It says in the Brisa, Nishbur Kadoi Veloisilko, someone, his barrel broke, but he didn't push it away. So let's be medayek here that there's two cases. We'll see a second case in a second, and also here, he had time to push it away, but he didn't clean it off. It happened later. He didn't clean it. There's a thing of something that happened later. His camel fell, and he didn't put it up. In two cases, Rameir mechayev bezeikon. Rameir says yechayev. Rechachon poitrim and chon poiter. That means potter medine odom. You potter to pay. V'chayev bedine shamayim. If you ask God what's the right thing to do, He'll say, yeah, no, you have to pay. But medine odom, you don't force on such a case. Moedim. So again, we have a machlokes of the camel that fell, and he didn't put it up, and also the keli that broke the kadoi and it didn't clean it up. So Rameir holds chayev and Chacham hold potter. Medine odom. Umoidim Chacham Rameir. Chacham will say potter. The moidim that is the case is chayev, but abnu sakino masoi. His knife or his rock or his knife or his rucksack. Sheinichon b'rish gagoy. They put them at the top of the roof. V'noflu b'ruach metzuyo, and they fell in a common wind. V'ziku shu chayev. Then in a case where someone was a poishea, then you are chayev. Because this rock or knife fell off the roof in a common wind, then you are chayev. When did Chacham say you potter in a case where his camel fell? Or the thing broke? But in such a case, he's moide that you're chayev. And in the other side, Rameir, who holds normally chayev, he's moide that in the case as potter, b'malik and kanim alagag amnasim nagvom. Someone took up these big kalim on the roof to clean them up, and you're allowed to do that. The nofru baruch sheinu mitzuya, and an oncoming wind, a tornado came and blew them off. V'ziku, and they damaged. So potter, in the case where you mamish oines, Rameir is masking that you potter. So that's a kash on what we said. Rabbis try to explain the Mishnah, and it's yote that the Mishnah holds afilu ozno biyodo, afilu if the handle of the keli is in his hand, that's the only thing that's left. He's walking the street just like this, and boom, there's only his handle. He did nothing wrong. Even in such a case, it's chayev, even though there's the onus. Here we see clearly the Rameir holds that onus is potter. Eloma Abai. So Abai is going to come and explain a whole new mahalach in the Mishnah. That the Mishnah is, there's two machlokes in between Rameir and Rabbi Yehuda. One machlokes is when a person trips. Is he called a poshea? So if you're poshea by tripping and you're keli breaking, so you're chayev for the hezek, right? And if you hold nitka la poshea, I'm onus I fell, and now that you nizek, I'm potter from oinus. That's one machlokes in Mishnah between Rameir and Rabbi Yehuda. And then another machlokes, what happened after it broke? And now I said I don't want to take any more of my damage. The pieces are left, I'm after, it's not mine anymore. Or you chayev or you potter. The machlokes that we said before, is a bor in Rishus Harabim, or a bor is in Rishus HaYochid at the edge of Rishus Harabim. So one holds if you're mafka, you're potter, because the bor is only in Rishus HaYochid. Another one holds when you're mafka, when you left afterwards, you're still chayev for that, because the Torah is chayev you for bor that's not yours. So let's see that inside. Eloma by betater pligi. There's two machlokes in between Rameir and Rabbi Yehuda over here. Pligi b'shas nefila, u'yechoylek b'shas nefila. And we'll see in a second what exactly happened to pligilach, and I feel what's left afterwards that you left over there after it broke and in public. Pligi b'shas nefila, the machlokes about when it broke. The machlokes is benitkal poshea. Is someone who trips called a poshea or not? Masov a nitkal poshea. Rameir holds a yechayev. He holds nitkal as poshea and therefore yechayev. Who masov a nitkal la poshea. And the other one holds, who holds your potter, or Yehuda holds nitkal la poshea. He's not a poshea for tripping, and therefore you're no chayev for when you damaged, when you tripped. Pligilach and afila, and they also have a machlokes about after you tripped and it broke and you left over there the pieces. The machlokes says b'mafker nezokov. What's the din if you have damage in Rishus Harabim in a public place and you're mafker it? Masovar Rameir holds mafker nezokov chayev, and therefore for later on what happened you're chayev where you left it there, even though you're mafker it. Masovar potter and Rabbi Yehuda holds that your mafker the nizokim, they're not yours anymore, and your potter, the borough that the Torah is mechayev, is in your rishus at the edge of Rishus Harabim. Says the Gemara, Mimai, how do we know that there's two machloikesim over here in the Mishnah? Says Abaye, how do we know this? Mimidiktoni tarati. Since it says two cases in the Mishnah, one case was that someone slipped in the water, and the other one, he got hit from the broken pieces. Hainuach, why does the Mishnah have to tell you two cases? It could go on and on and on and tell you cases. The Mishnah is not going to waste our time. It's obviously trying to tell you a different din. Elo lav hochikoma. This is what the Mishnah is trying to tell you. If one of them slipped, and that when does the water exist normally? When the vessel breaks, and the water straight away over there, and then it goes in the ground. Right? So that's b'shas. So uchlok echad b'mayim b'shas nefila. Or someone got hit. When do you get hit from the breaking pieces? That stays for a long time. And therefore, that's how we know there's two machlokes in the Mishnah between Amer and Rabbi Yehuda. Since our Mishnah must be two brisa, the brisa that we said at the bottom of Daf Kov Ches Amud Beis. Second line up, that brisa, Nami Betarti, also has to be two, because over there also, what's the raya that the Mishnah is with two? Because it has two cases, over there also has two cases. Because it says Nishbar Kada Veloy Silkoi, that's one case with the vessel, the other case is Nofal Gmaloi, his camel fell. Bishloimoy Kadoi, and we said in each one there's two cases where we're choylek, also B'shas Nefila, and also what happened afterwards when he was mafkarit. Said the Gemara Bishlei Mercado in the Brisa, the case where your vessel broke, Mashkachas lo oy b'shas nefila, that someone got hurt from the charosim or from the water straight away when you fell, you tripped onto them. Oy la'acha nefila, or afterwards the charosim stayed and they damaged someone. Elo gmaloi, but his camel, Bishlei melacha nefila, if he fell and you left it there, I can understand you caused your berbushus rabim, and the one who holds berbushus rabim is chayv, so you'll be chayv here. Elo b'shas nefila, when it fell, that we're saying also there's a machloikes if you chayv or you potter when your camel fell. Echi mashkachas lo. How did it cause damage? It could cause damage, but why should you be chayiv? I'm honest, my camel fell, it tripped and fell. What am I meant to do? Omar Ravacha says Ravacha going to over b'maya derech sharata denara. He went in water where there's overflowing of the river. There is a river and there's an overflow, and it's dangerous to go over there because you can't see where you're going. And the camel went over there and tripped. So he's a pusher, they took it over there. And therefore, it makes sense. B'shas nefila, we choylek, one holds chayv, one holds potter. Says the Gemara Echidomi, what was this case where it overflew? If you could go in a normal way, a different way that's without the water, Peshahu, you're Pesha, why did you go in over here? And therefore you should be chayiv. Everyone should be masking they chayiv when it damaged. And if there's no other way, Onusu, he needs to get back to his town with his merchandise. So what could he do? He's honest, he has to go through the water. What happened was the master was walking in front of the camel and he tripped, and then the camel tripped on him and damaged someone else. So in such a case, there's a machloikes or yichayv or yipoter. And the camel hit him, tripped over him. Okay, so now we said in the Mishnah there's two machloikes. One is it tripping, is it called posher or not? And the other one, what happens with the pieces that damaged later on? So let's go back a second to the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, Rabbi Yehuda b'miskaven. Okay, so now we forgot to mention this very important point, that now when you tell the Mishnah b'miskaven, Rabbi Yehuda b'miskaven, what does that mean? Rabbi Yehuda says, if he tried taking it, not like what we said before, from his head to his shoulders. Now he means, I'm just going to look, I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah, so when Rabbi Yehuda says, b'miskaven, when you're trying to break it, then you chayiv. Because normally a nitkal son who tripped is onus and is potter. So why over here, when are you chayiv? Only if you tried breaking it. If you come and break this vessel or shutzarabim with kavona, then you chayiv. Why? Because then he's moida that he did it specially, but if he did it, he tripped, he's potter. Okay, very good. But where the other machlokes in the words of Rabbi Yehuda about what happens later on? about, we said there's two machloikes in what happens now when the damage happens, and also if you left the broken pieces, where does that fit in with miskaven? Said the Gemara, my mafkin azokov, when it says, we said that to the machloikes, what's the din if someone's mafkir his burish or rabim, or yichayv or not, my miskavenika, what is that to do with kavona? When it says miskaven, he has intention, it means intention, ben miskaven, when he has intention to be koina the pieces and he doesn't want to be mafkir them and it's his, then yichayv, because then it's your mom and you don't need to come to bur, it's like your cow. So your mom was mazik, like Rav. But when you know miskaven, meaning you want to be mafkir, then you're potter. So both machloikesim fit in the word miskaven. Miskaven also means to be zoicha in the pieces and not be mafkir them. And also miskaven means the other din, to miskaven to break it, and miskaven, and then a miskaven wasn't miskaven to break it. V'chein Omer Ravashi. Okay, so here we had a very nice whole long explanation of Abaye, how he explains our Mishnah. That there's two machloikesim in the Mishnah, between Rameh and Rabbi Yehuda. Says the Gemara, v'chein Omer Ravashi. Sorry, I missed out one line before that. I said that too early. V'chein Omer Ravashi miskaven liskos b'charasel. Ravashi also agrees, and he said that it's talking about the cases that he was miskaven liskos b'charasel, and it's his, and that's how the word miskaven fits in. Rabbi Loza Omer b'shas nefila machloikes. Rabbi Loza says that the whole machloikes is b'shas nefila, but not what happens afterwards. L'chora, that's what's mashma. So the Gemara avalacha nefila mai. What's the din acha nefila, the pieces that he left later on? Divra kol potter. You want to tell me everyone will hold its potter when he was after it, obviously? V'ho ikar me'ad mechayev. In the brisa, it says that it says, what does it say in the brisa? Nishbar ekade v'lo silko. So we could see we're talking about we didn't clean it up. We mentioned this earlier, that we could see the diuk that we're talking about something that happened later. So, and Rameh holds chayev. So you can't say everyone hold potter in that case. Elomai, what do you want to tell me? That dibra kol chayev, that everyone hold yechayev in the case where you're mafkin a zokov later on, and then if it's in Rameh, over ikar rabbanon de patri, rabbanon over here, also talking about later on, and they say potter. So you can't say there's no machloikis there. Elomai b'shas nefila, what did he mean to say that the machloikis b'shas nefila? Af b'shas nefila. Also b'shas nefila, and not only what happens afterwards, like it's mashma mefurish, it says v'lo silko and it didn't clean it up, that we're talking about later. That's a chiddush. V'komash palon kedei Abaye, and it's telling you exactly like Abaye that the machloikis mission is about two things, about nitkal poishea, and also about where the bird chayev is mafkin zokov chayev or potter. Rabbi Yochanan Omar lacha nefila machloikis. Rabbi Yochanan says the machloikis is after nefila. Frag the Gemara al b'shas nefila mai. What's the din when it actually broke and damaged then? Divra kol potter. Doesn't mean everyone hold Rameh and Chachamim hold the potter when it broke, and that means nitkal, someone who trips, is lav poishea. V'ho midikol Rabbi Yochanan lekamon. Since Rabbi Yochanan later on said about a different Mishnah. Don't say that Mishnah is Ramehi. It's Rameh who holds. Doma nitkal poishea, who the Rameh hold nitkal poishea. So you can't say Rameh will be moida, that you'll be potter in a case b'shas nefila nitkal oines, because Rameh hold nitkal poishea. Rabbi Yochanan himself said that Rameh holds like that. So it can't be everyone holds potter who michlal the Rameh mechayev. Elomai dibra kol chayev. When Rabbi Yochanan said the machloket b'shas nefila, it means after lacha nefila, means b'shas nefila everyone holds chayev, because everyone holds someone who trips is a poishea. V'ho midukam Rabbi Yochanan lekamon. Since Rabbi Yochanan said later on exactly what we brought a second ago, loitem asisi Ramehi doma nitkal poishea. Don't think the mission over there is Rameh who holds nitkal poishea. I could see that Dafka Rameh holds like that. Who michlal de patra rabbanon, mashma the rabbanon choylek and hold nitkal poishea. So you can't say they don't argue over there. Must be that they also argue if nitkal poishea or not nitkal poishea. Says the Gemara, ela hokomash malon. Rabbi Yochanan said lacha nefilu machloikis. This is what he's trying to tell you. Really, they choylek by both, like Abaye. But this is what he wants to tell you. The mafkin zokov the hocho hu de patra rabbanon the onusu. Aval mafkin zokov the alme mechayvi. Meaning that Rabbi Yochanan wants to stress a point over here when he says machlokes lach and afila, especially in this case of the machlokes lach and afila. Why? Because when he fell, he was onus. But if someone comes and takes his vessel and breaks it in Rishus Harabim, then even Rabbanon who hold over here Potter will hold Yechayev. And that's the Rabbi Yochanan wants to tell you, not the point that they're not choilek in the other case, in B'shas Nefila. Okay, Itma, now we're going to go into the sugya, what's the din really? Where is the bird that the Torah is mechayev me? In Rishus Harabim or in Rishus HaYochid? Itma, Mafkin Ezokov, someone who's mafke, he gives away. He says, I don't want, this is not mine anymore. All his damage I had in Rishus Harabim, he has over there trash or broken vessel or dead donkey or anything. Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Loza. They are choilek about it. Chadom chayev, one says he chayev, chadom potter, and one says you're potter. The machlokes we had before between Rameh and Rabbi Yehuda lechera. Lema man de mechayev karameh. Let's say the one who holds mafkin nezokov holds like Rameh. The one who holds yichayev. Man de potter karabon who holds mafkin nezokov potter. So the Gemara no. It's not toile ha behalif machlokes. Ali b'dermeh who holds over there when a guy tripped up a type of oinus and he broke stuff later on, and Rameh holds chayev. No one could hold like him. Kulan meloi pligi. Everyone says that no one holds like Rameh. Ki pligi ali b'derabbanon. Where they choilek, what's shitta of Rabbanon in their case? Man de potter, the one who says mafkin uzokov is potter, holds like Rabbanon, simply like Rabbanon over there said with the camel. Man de mechayev, and the one who says yichayev, Omar lecho anod amar afilu Rabbanon. I'm fitting it like Rabbanon. Ad kan loy potter Rabbanon. The only reason why over there Rabbanon patted when a camel fell and died, elo b'mafkin ezokov. De'ochem mishum de'onusu. In the case over there, because his oinus. 1 second. Yeah, so when did Rabbanon say over there? The mafkin ezokov is potter is when his oinus when it happened, when the nezokim occurred. Avon mafkin ezokov d'alma, in a case where you break it, like Rabbi Yochanan said, similar to Rabbi Yochanan said before, when you cause the damage for sure, then mechayvi, then they'll hold yechayev. And we're going to see Tosfos explains why we don't say Rabbi Yochanan straight away as Rabbi Yochanan. So said the Gemara, okay, so we have Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Loza. One says chayev, one says potter by mafkin ezokov in a case where you caused the nezokim to put them in Rishus Harabim. Wasn't oinus I came there, you broke a keli and other pieces in Rishus Harabim, and now you're after it, or you chayev a potter. We don't know who says what. Does Rabbi Loza say chayev? Does Rabbi Yochanan say chayev? Said the Gemara, Tistayim, I'll bring you Raya, the Rabbi Loza Udoma chayev. He the one who holds mafkin ezokov is chayev. The Omar Rabbi Loza Mishum Rabbi Shmuel Shnei Dvarim. Says Rabbi Loza in the name of Rabbi Shmuel, there's two things. Shnei Dvarim einam b'rishusoi, that they're not really yours. Shel Adam of a person v'aso makosov keilu b'rishusoi, and the Torah made it as if it's in his rishus ve'eleoen, and these are the two things. Bar b'rishus harabim, a bar in rishus harabim. That's not yours, it's Rishus Harabim, it belongs to the public. Why should I be chayiv? And the Torah says, no, you chayiv because you dug a burr, you did a hole in the ground, and you caused over here someone to trip. So it's something that's not yours, and the Torah made it yours, that you chayiv in a zokim. V'chometz mishei shoy sulemalo. And chometz, after 6 hours, it's also bano, something that's also bano, is not really yours. You can't have bailus in it. There's no value to it. So you can't have bailus. And afilu they said lo chometz, and you shouldn't see and be by you shouldn't own chometz. You can't own it. Afilu the Torah said that it's by you own it. So this time, so we have a clear raya. The first thing was that's not really yours, and the Torah says you have to pay is bur. So where's the bur mechayev in the Torah? Bur b'shus harabim. Does that belong to you? No. So Rabbi Loza holds mafkin ezokov. L'chor, he's the one who holds chayev. Frag the Gemara, mi Amar Rabbi Loza. He did Rabbi Loza say so. V'Amar Rabbi Loza yipcha. Rabbi Loza said the opposite. Etnan. We learned in the Mishnah. Someone there is poo of a cow in Rishus Rabim, and someone turns it over, picks it up, and puts it back down on the ground. V'huzak boy nacher, and someone came and slipped and got damaged, or got his cloak dirty, chayv beniskoy. He has to pay because the one who picked it up has to pay now that he put it back down. And Rabbi Loza says, Lo Shonu, this is only talking about when he picked it up, he wanted to take them home, he wanted to have kavana that should be his. And if he didn't want to pick them up, and he just picked them up for some reason, potter. Your potter. Because it's not yours. And mafkin is of potter. You can see Rabbi Loza holds someone whose mafkin is nezakim, he's potter. So, how could you tell me Rabbi Loza holds the bor is the Torah mechayiv you when it's not yours, when it's hefka? I'll tell you what's pshat over there. The reason why over there he's potter, because he put it exactly in the same place where it was. So someone, the owner of the cow, it's his bor in Rishus Rabim, and now when he picked it up and put it in the same place, the bor stayed. So it's the same bor, so that's why I'm potter if I don't have kavanah to be zoicha. If I have kavanah to be zoicha, it's mine, and now it becomes my bor. But if I'm not have kavanah to be zoicha, it's the first person's bor. Omer Ravina, says Ravina, he asked me a question here, Moshel der Ada bar Abba lemadov doima. I want to bring a moshel to this case that you are saying, that he put it back to the same place. Lemoitze bar megula, someone found a bor, a hole in Rishus Rabim, and it was uncovered, v'chiso, and he covered it, v'choza v'gilo, and then he picked it up again, he took off the cover, so now the bor that was there, the hole that was there before, is still there in Rishus Rabim. So what's the din? Omale, what's the din? So obviously it's chayiv. So also we hear, the first one's chayiv. Let's see Rashi. Potter, v'afal gad lekor bor b'Rishus Rabim, k'she'ofchoi v'nitkal ha'adam b'mokom shezork rishon, v'imo yimkoim harishon l'nitkal boy. And Rabbi Loza, bor b'Rishus Rabim, Potter, v'adin lemafkin ezokov, deho, v'andem chayiv bor b'Rishus Rabim, yoliflo, shelo isa shelo imoilo, shechzir l'mkoimo, deloi kor boy v'ave kimi shelo inoga b'moilom, delav kor boru. The potter. So we're saying again. We said that he put the poop of the animal in the same place, but on my no, I think better word. But here he's saying this is really doimit to someone who's mechasel bora, and he takes it away and he puts it down. It's not the same. When you covered the bor for a bit and then you uncovered it, the bor still exists. And therefore when you uncovered it, that's why the first one's chayiv. The first person still bor is there. Ocha, when he picked up this minor, once it's picked up from the ground, that's it, there's no bor anymore. What do I care if I'm zoiche in it or not zoiche in it? There's no bor anymore. I should be chayiv when I put it down. This is what it's similar to. Someone finds a hole in Rishus Rabim, a dig, and he fills it up, and he digs it up again. That the first one is gone. That's it. There's no bor of the first one. Once I covered his bor, I filled it up. He's no bor. He can't be chayiv again. It's a new bor. So also here it's a new bor. So why are you chayiv? Why you should be chayiv? That he turned it up, when he picked it, he never picked it up over 3 tfachim. It's still in the same place, it's considered. 3 tfachim is still in the same place, it's still a bor over there. So it's always a bor, and that's why you chayev. Frag the Gemara, why was we saying this whole doichak, that pshat over here that Rabbi Loza explained, the Mishnah says, the Mishnah over there said that someone picked up a menor and he put it down. What it in? We said, you have to pay, and we had to. So the say, why do you have to say that he's not miskavet to zoicha and it's under 3 tfachim? The say it's pashat the Mishnah. It's talking about where he picked up normally over 3 tfachim, and it says. So why did he say such a doichak? V'tama, and the whole reason the Chiniskav and Iskoispo. Why is he chayev? Because he had kavanah to be zoicha, and even less than 3 tefachim is koin, and that's why it's chayev. Hoin miskav, and if he has no kavanah to be zoicha and he doesn't want it to be his, Iskoispo loy. Sorry. Hoin miskav and Iskoispo loy. Why are we putting it such a doichak? Lukma, let's put it lemala migimel higher than 3 tefachim. V'afal gav the loy miskav and Iskoispo, and he chayev even if you had no kavanah to be zoichen, because you moved it, you pushed away the burr, and now you put it back. It's much simpler. Omar Rava, I'll tell you why. Masnisin kashisha, it was schwer for him, there was a schwerkeit for him in the Mishnah itself, and that's what forced him to explain it like this. Mario, Ofach, why did it say he turned over? Listen, I should say he picked it up high, and Igbia 3 tefachim. Elo shmami, no, let's come and tell you like this. Kol hofach, anytime when it says Ofach lemata mishloishahu, and it's less than shloisha. And therefore it has to be, if it's less than shloisha, that you had kavanah to be zoicha, because otherwise it's still the first one's bur and he'll be potter. For said the Gemara, midra beloza, since Rabbi Elazar holds in this machloikis, Omar Chayev, we said before Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Yochanan hold, they have a machloikis, what's the din of mafkin nizokov, and we have a raya that Rabbi Elazar holds, like Rabbi Shmuel, he brought that bur is bur that the Torah is mechayev is b'rshus rabim, that's not yours, so someone's mafkin b'rshus rabim, Yechayev, that's Rabbi Elazar, Umida Rabbi Elazar. Omar Chayev, since Rabbi Elazar the one Chayev, Rabbi Yochanan was choylek. Omar Potter, he holds mafkin and zokov, is Potter, and the bur is Chayev only b'rshus hayochid. Practic more miyomar Rabbi Yochanan, Ochi did Rabbi Yochanan say so, that nan, we learned in the Mishnah, Matzniya is akoy, someone who hides the phone, vesaschuchis and the glass, va'goy the gidroi bekoitzim, and someone who puts on his fence to Rishus Rabim, phones, or let's say barbed wire nowadays. V'godash and a follow Rishus Rabim, and a fence that falls into Rishus Rabim, v'uzak boy nacher, and someone got damaged, hurt, and chai binitzko, you have to pay for the damage that happened. V'omar Rabbi Yochanan, that though we said that the fence they put on the phones, yichayev lo yishonu elim u'mafriach, when it's coming out to Rishus Rabim. If it's in Rishus Rabim on the barrier, potter, then you're potter. Said the Gemara, Metzamtzem, when he had it lined to the end of his property, my time a potter. Why are you potter? Because it's a bur in Hit Rishus, and bur with a bur that the Torah is Mechad Rishus Rabim, bur at the edge of Rishus Rabim, Rishus, I'm no chayev. And that's why you potter. Michlal dechiyuva the bor. So when are you chayiv for bor if you potter in Rishus hayochid? Rishus Rabim, when it's not your bor, that means Rabbi Yochanan holds, when it's not your bor, they chayiv. And we have said that Rabbi Yochanan holds your potter. My who alma, we could see mafkin azok of chayiv. Not like what we said that Rabbi Yochanan holds your potter. Loi lo mefilach mafkin azok of potter. Says more really mafkin azok is really potter. And the reason why on the edge of Rishus Rabim it's not considered a bor, if the Torah is mechayev the bor Rishus hayochid, my time potter mishum the itma law, because we learned on that Mishnah. Omar of Acha brother of Ikilifisha in darkom shem leodom lischakef baksolim. People don't scratch on the walls. People don't get too close to the walls. So if I'm allowed to put a barbed wire at the edge, and people don't scratch on it, then I don't have to be choishesh. It's not a normal thing. It's mishunah to do that. So that's why you pot a bor. If you have a proper bor at the edge of a Rishus Rabim, you'll be chayav. And enochanami Rabbi Yochanan holds that the Torah is mechayav bor, yes, b'Rishus hayochid, and not b'Rishus Rabim. So the Gemara, miyomar Rabbi Yochanan, Achi did Rabbi Yochanan say so? V'omar Rabbi Yochanan said, Alocha k'stam Mishnah. We have a Mishnah and doesn't say who's saying the Mishnah. We say Alocha's like it. V'tnan, and we learned, Achoyfer bor b'Rishus Rabim, someone who dug a hole in Rishus Rabim, and a cow or ox or donkey fell in, umeis, and died, chayev. Yechayev, a mefurish Mishnah, a stam Mishnah, that doesn't say who it is, so we know we pass like that, says that where the bur the Torah is talking about, in Rishus Rabim, we don't own the bur. So Rabbi Yochanan must hold chayev. So the Gemara, Elo, really, Loilo Rabbi Yochanan mar chayev. Rabbi Yochanan says that bur b'Rishus Rabim is chayev, and bur b'Rishus hayochid's potter. Umid Rabbi Yochanan, fragt the Gemara if Rabbi Yochanan holds Omar chayev, Rabbi Elazar, Omar potter. Rabbi Elazar is choylek, must hold bur b'Rishus Rabim is potter. V'omar Rabbi Elazar, didn't Rabbi Elazar say, we brought it before, Mishum Rabbi Shmuel, that when the chiddush of the Torah, brother, even though it's not yours, the Torah is mechayev you. That means where the Torah mechayev a bar b'shus rabim. So the Gemara lo ikashia. That's not shver. Really, Rabbi Elazar holds bar b'shus rabim is potter. Or Rabbi Shmuel, his Rebbe says yichayev. Hodidei, hodirabei. He holds it's potter. And he's cholik on Rabbi Yochanan holds chayev. And that they said Rabbi Shmuel, that we could see that he's chayev. That's why his Rebbe holds. Until here.